The Polygon primitive is an object that will allow us to draw our own shape or to import Illustrator files. And the way this works is that when we drag it down into the scene tree, it looks a little bit different than other objects that we've already worked with. Up in the editor window, notice you have a grid system here. And if we come up and left click in this grid system, it will start to draw lines. Wherever we click, it will draw a smooth Bezier curved line. Once you draw a shape and you click on the last point to close it up, notice it doesn't close it up. So there's a button down here that says close spline. If we click on that, it now closes the spline. By default, when you start clicking, it also creates a Bezier curve. If you want these points to be straight or linear, you can turn off smooth spline right here. There's also a precision, and when we adjust this precision, if we take it up, you can see it kind of degrades the smoothness of the line. There's a reset, you can set that back to 1. There's also a clear all button right here, so if you want to get rid of that polygon altogether, you can. Now, if you want to import something from Illustrator, there's an import button right here. So we click on this, we navigate to the folder where we have an Illustrator file, and these Illustrator files need to be Illustrator 8 and below. So we highlight our Illustrator file, we click OK, and it imports a file. Now if I want to zoom in or out, I can use the Z and X key, or if your mouse has a middle mouse button, you can use this to adjust it in or out as well. If you press down your middle mouse scroll button, you get a little crosshairs, and then you can move this window around as well. So this Illustrator file has the points, and if you want to adjust these points, you can click on a point and move it around, such as this. If you right click within this window, you have a bunch of other options. So we have a copy, a cut, a paste, anchor, spline, properties, and some of these, such as spline and properties, reveal more properties. So if we want to use some of these, under spline, we could come up here and say new. Now if I start clicking, I can create a whole new polygon. If I right click again and we want to say select, I can select all. Now all my polygons are selected, and I can move this one wherever we want. If you come down here with everything not selected and you try to move a polygon, it's not going to move everything together. So if I want to select this all off, I just go back to select all and then click on any individual point, and now I can draw that individual point. So if I right click again, I can come up here and I can flip. So under flip, we also have another option. It says all X or all Y, and if I hit all X, it flips this. If you don't like the result it gets, you can just hit the undo button down here. If I close this spline and we try to flip it again, we'll do all X. Now it flips it a different way. We can hit undo if you don't like it. Under spline, we also have an option for mirror, so we can hit all X and it flips that polygon around. We also have a delete, so we can delete that polygon right from this window. Now we can also split a polygon, so if we right click and go to spline and split, you can see here that it split these two polygons there. There's also a merge, so you can merge all your polygons together, and you can also show hide splines on each line, or you can hide all, and that now hides it all. If you want to turn it back on, you can go to show hide and just say show all. Under properties, there's an editor, so you can turn the grid on or off. There's also an option for align on grid, so if the align on grid is on and you drag your polygon, it will snap to grid points within this window. There's also an option for a bounding box, so under editor, bounding box, if we turn this on, we now have a bounding box that shows us. Under properties, there's a handle mode, so you can change it to single, locked, or mirror. So we have it on locked. It's going to adjust both handles at the same time. So we right click again under properties. Under spline, we also have options for draw line. We can change it to draw segments, and we can also say draw point, and you can see how it changes the polygon here. Under properties, spline, we also have an option for closed, so we can close it. It's the same as using this close spline button down here. And we also have the same option for smooth. If we turn smooth off, it It's the same as using this smooth spline button right down here. Now if you needed to add another polygon, you could come down here into Spline and say New and start another one, or what you would have to do is drag a whole other polygon object down itself and add another one just like that. To get rid of a polygon, you can say clear all, or you can drag it right to the trash can.